Hi, I'm Donna Carr Roberts. I'm the author and artist of The Adventures of Mr. Fuzzy Ears. And I want to share with you, this is Teddy, who is in the book. You'll hear about him later. So Teddy says, bye, we'll see you later. So, this is the book. I'm hoping you have a copy there with you so you can follow along. Mr. Fuzzy Ears lived with his human mom and dad, and he loved them very much. They loved him too. But as happy as Mr. Fuzzy Ears was, he was still sad because he wanted a furry friend to play with. Even as a baby, he searched for a friend to play with. He asked the puppy in the mirror, but the puppy just stared back. So Mr. Fuzzy Ears began to search. He knew there was a mouse that scurried around in the cupboard, and Mr. Fuzzy Ears tried to find him. Mr. Fuzzy Ears poked his head in the hole of Mr. Mouse's home and said, "Hi, would you like to come play with me?" But the mouse said, "Oh, Mr. Fuzzy Ears, I'd like to play with you, but I'm shy and I won't leave my cupboard. Maybe you could come in." But when Mr. Fuzzy Ears tried to squeeze into Mr. Mouse's cupboard, he got stuck. "Help, Mom, I can't get out." So Mom came running and pulled out the cupboard drawer. "Whew. Thanks, Mom," said Mr. Fuzzy Ears. "Thanks anyway, Mr. Mouse, but I think I need to look somewhere else. Maybe I should look outside," thought Mr. Fuzzy Ears. He knew a family of chipmunks lived nearby, so he searched and he found them in the hedge. "Would you come play with me?" he asked. But Mrs. Chipmunk, who's not very nice, said, "We're shy. We won't leave our nest, and besides, you're too big to play in here, so go away." "I'm sorry," said Mr. Fuzzy Ears, and he sadly walked away. Then Mr. Fuzzy Ears saw Mr. Squirrel in the tree. "Would you come play with me?" he asked. But Mr. Squirrel just sniffed, and then he dropped an acorn on Mr. Fuzzy Ears' head. "Ouch! Oh, oops, I'm sorry," said Mr. Squirrel. "Maybe you could play with me when you learn to climb my tree." And Mr. Fuzzy Ears said, "No, thanks." His head hurt too much. This was just not a very good day, and we all have those. Because so many of the animals were shy, Mr. Fuzzy Ears thought, "I'll just hide and I'll try to catch whatever little critter passes by." But no one came by. So finally, Mr. Fuzzy Ears decided to get some help. Mr. Fuzzy Ears talked to his mom and dad about his search, and they knew exactly where to look. Of course, they would go to the Humane Society. Of course. Mr. Fuzzy Ears said, "I remember that place. This is where Mom and Dad found me, and they were so good to me, and they helped me find my forever home." The first friend Mr. Fuzzy Ears met was a striped cat named Preston. They sniffed noses, and they really liked each other, but Preston had just come into the Humane Society and he was too sick to find a home yet. Preston told Mr. Fuzzy Ears that his human couldn't afford Preston's medical care, so he was taken to the Humane Society. But Mr. Fuzzy Ears didn't worry about him because he knew that Preston would be loved and cared for at the Humane Society, and they would find him just the right home when it was time. Then Mr. Fuzzy Ears met Ray, a cute little fuzzy rat swinging in her hammock. Ray's human had moved to a place that didn't allow pets, so her human brought her to the Humane Society. The good news was that Ray already had a family pick her and was just waiting for her forever family to come take her home. This was a very good day. Then Mr. Fuzzy Ears spotted a fluffy little rabbit and asked her name. Her name was Scamper. Someone had given Scamper to a child as an Easter present. Not a good idea. But the child didn't know how to take care of a rabbit, so Scamper was brought to the Humane Society. Scamper hoped she would find a family who knew that having a pet is an important responsibility and be ready to love and take care of her when it was her time to be adopted. Then Mr. Fuzzy Ears saw a sad dog named Izzy. She was very unhappy, but when she saw Mr. Fuzzy Ears, she smiled and said, "Are you looking for a friend? Please take me home with you." Mr. Fuzzy Ears looked at Mom and Dad, and they said, "Yes." Izzy said, "Thank you. But by the way, I also have a friend that I'd like to bring with me, okay?" The little girl dog next to me is Sophie, and she's my very best friend, said Izzy. We both came from a place with lots of dogs, where we were all kept in small cages and never allowed to play. Sophie's very shy, but very sweet, and we'd be so happy if both of us could come live with you, okay? Mom and Dad said, "Yes!" Mr. Fuzzy Ears was delighted. This was a very, very good day. So they all jumped in the car and headed to Mr. Fuzzy Ears' house. But on the way home, they saw a small furry creature trotting alongside the road. They stopped the car to see what it was. It was a very small puppy who said his name was Teddy, and he was lost. You met Teddy right before I started reading the book. They put Teddy in the car. They took him home to care for him until they could find his family, which is the right thing to do. The next day, Mom and Dad put up signs to try to find Teddy's family. They called their animal doctor to see if they knew anyone looking for a lost puppy. They called the Humane Society to see if they knew anyone looking for a lost puppy. But no one seemed to be looking for Teddy. So Teddy, too, jumped in the car and came home to live with Mr. Fuzzy Ears' family. So after searching for so long for a furry friend, Mr. Fuzzy Ears now had 3 friends to play with, and now every day is a very good day. The end. And there are the guys in the windows, Mr. Fuzzy Ears with all his friends. I hope you liked it, and I hope to see you soon. Have a good day. Bye.